I think everyone is settled. And if you see my my presentation outline, you can see that today I'm going to focus on finance. And we know that the topics that we are focusing on a lot as far as mathematical literacy is concerned is finance and measurement, because they have big weight. The grade 12s, you must take note of that in paper one, finance is one of the topic that has more marks than other topic, which is the data handling and probability. When you go to paper two, measurement is the one that has more weight as compared to maps, plans, and scales, even probability. So this week we are going to focus more on financial, what you call finance, but we won't do everything on the finance. We will only touch the overview and try to do one or two activities based on the financial documents, and we can even touch on the tariffs if times allows us. It must be known that under finance, we've got sections, many sections, which is very important. That if you are a grade 12 learner, you must know exactly inside this house, which is called finance, which are the topics that you can find under finance, or the subsections, because finance is a bigger topic, but it's like a family or a father of a house. Then we've got children. You must know who are the children of finance. Now, the first one that you can see on the screen, it is financial document. Financial document, it's one of the children of finance. And it is also important that you know that under financial document, this child also has, now he has grown up, he's got a family also. Now we've got the grandchildren of finance, which are, for an example, tax documents. When you talk about tax documents, you talk about tax rate tables, the IRP5, the employee income tax, etc. We can have some other what you call financial documents, like which one? Anyone? Yes, you are right. Invoice. Invoice can be one of the financial documents. What else? Thank you very much. Till slip. One of the financial documents. What else? Yes, you are right. You are right. You are right there. You are right. Nomfuyo for saying quotations. Good. So over and above the ones that are written here, I've written invoice, till slip, quotations. And if you are doing a grade 12, you must be able to do what? To answer the question that can be given from any of the financial documents that I have listed. Now, we also have the loan documents like the bank statements, the loan institution showing changes on loan agreements. Here, it's when a person is buying a house. There will be a statement that will be coming on what you call monthly basis or quarterly basis, because this person has taken a loan from the bank to pay this particular house. What are the other examples under the loan documents? Definitely, you are right. The car that your parents are driving, or your brother or whoever, if he or she did not buy the car cash. We are saying now that person has taken a loan from the bank so that they can repay the debt of the car. So you need also to understand that when the statement comes, it is part of the financial documents. All right. Now let's go to the next slide. I hope we are still going together. Right, don't worry about this. It's all about the level of difficulties, but it is very important that if you are doing grade 12, like for an example, I was showing you about the financial documents that we can have questions that are very simple. We call them questions that are of level 1, just to know. You have to recall. Maybe you'll be given a bank statement. If you are given a bank statement, there will be a date there, like today, 16 August. And the question can just say, what is the date of the statement? You just write 16 August 2025. We say those are the simple questions, very simple. And where do you find it in your question paper? When you are writing final paper, that you'll find in question 1. We call them just as simple questions of level 1. Then we have level 2, where you can be asked maybe to do a smaller calculations that if Martin Chabalala is paying 250 per month, and he's paying for 24 months, how much will have paid after 24 months? You'll just multiply 250 by 24. Now it's going a little bit high. We call that level 2 questions. You must be able to practice them. Don't just focus only on the simple questions, because your question paper, it is also having level 2, which is a little bit challenging. Then we've got this one of multi-steps. That's where now you will find that you are expected to go further. That 250 times 24 months, then you get the amount that this person will have paid for that 24 months. Let's say you got 5,200. I'm just making an example. And it says further to you. Now, if this person decides to take another loan of 300 per month, and he's paying now for 12 months, all in all, how much will you have paid? It means that now you are going to multiply again and add to that 5,220. So it is multi-steps. And these are one of the questions that you must also be prepared to find in a question paper. Now we've got level 4 questions. These are the questions that are a little bit challenging because they need reasoning and reflecting. Remember, our subject is practical. Our subject is contextualized. We deal with everyday life. That's why I like mathematical literacy so much. We are talking about the loans now. We are talking about buying a car. We are talking about buying a house. And you are inside a building wherever you are. So it means that our subject, it deals with everyday life. Now, if we take the questions further, little bit difficult and challenging, we say that is level 4. It can say to you, Bushe and let's say Nokwanda and Bushe, they have to choose, or this one bought a polo, and this one bought the same polo, and this one has bought the car with using the bank, which is ABSA, and this one has just bought it with Standard Bank. Compare, after calculations, which bank is offering the best rate, and how are you going to advise these two people in paying going forward? It means that you do calculations, and after calculations, you have to reason and reflect. Some of the questions that are familiar to you now, that are also in your classwork books when coming to level 4 questions, are those questions of verify. You remember them: verify, justify, whether the statement is true or false. So those are level 4 questions. Boys and girls, my grade 12s, that I was just giving you here a picture of that you don't have to focus only on simple questions. And you people also who also like difficult question or challenging questions, and you don't take note that the level 1 questions also can also be little bit challenging, you can also find yourself losing some marks. We have seen in the past that most of the grade 12s in question 1, where they're supposed to get 30 out of 30, if the total was 30 out of 30, they don't find it. They get 20, they get 15. It's not supposed to be like that, because in question 1, it's only knowing questions that are straightforward and simple. So you must make sure that you grab those marks, all of them. So meaning that even if come the prep examination or the trial examination, the one that you're going to write next month, you start with question 1, because those are what? Simple questions. Now I'm just going to grab all those marks of question 1, because Mr. Chawala told me that these are the level 1 questions, which is very simple. All right, now let's continue. Okay, these are some of the documents that we have spoken about under the text document or whatever. What is important, you must know them. Which are those what you call financial documents? But we have mentioned the payslip, the IRP5, right? But this is some of the questions that you need to expect under the those text documents, like the IRP5 and the payslip. Explain why is the document important. Explanation of terms. Take learners to the, okay, show how different values were determined. Now, remember, each and every question has what we call terminology. And you don't take note of what you call, you don't take note of the terminology, and you lose those marks. Thank you very much, sir. Now, it is important that you know that for each and every topic in mathematical literacy, you'll be expected to define different terminologies. In this case, you can see what is salary, what is gross basic salary, what is net salary, what is annual salary. And for an example here, it is given to you. Salary is an amount of money paid for the work you do. This is normally paid monthly. But it doesn't mean that you must give us exactly what is written here. But you need to understand what is salary. But you can even give it in your own words. But you must be able to explain what is meant by the word salary. And we have seen that for this what you call questions of terminology, of the explain or define, you'll always get 2 marks. Who doesn't want to have that 2 marks just for explanation? So you can't afford to leave out these questions. Meaning that even in your classwork books, you can have at the back of your classwork book, have the terminologies, so that you can keep on reminding yourself when you are studying. So it is very important. I won't go through all of them, but I was showing you that it is important to know the terminologies that goes with each and every topic. Now we come to the part of still under finance. Now here, they are trying to break out what do you find in a salary slip. Okay? What do you find in a salary slip? Here, it is given to you that inside a salary slip, we have what you call a basic salary. Let's just do an example, which is very important that you must know. That Chawala is earning 40,000 per month. That is the salary. And it can be given to you that this is the basic salary, what he is getting. But at times, it is not telling you how much is he taking home. You understand? Because out of that 40,000, there will be some deduction. He's paying for a house. He's paying for a car. Maybe he's paying the policies, the funeral policies, out of the salary, I advise. He's paying 10,000 for a house. He's paying 5,000 for a house. The policies, 1,000. The policies, 1,000. Just making an example. How much all in all? So it's 10,000, 15,000, 16,000. Meaning that out of his basic salary, you have to deduct 16,000. How much will it be left? Yes, 24,000. Can we say this 24,000 is still a basic salary? No, it's not a basic salary. We call this one a what? A net salary. It's a net amount. What do you find after deduction? It is net. We can use the other word for this and to explain what is that 40,000. We can call it also a gross income. Right. So there can be a lot of deductions under the salary. All right. Now let's continue. Again, still under the terminologies. UIF, we have what you call the acronyms. This something like an abbreviation, but we call them acronyms. The UIF, the pay as you earn, the GEPF. What is the other one? Yes, you are right. You are right. VAT. What is the what you call the acronym for VAT? It's value added tax. Should know this starting from grade 10, but others are still getting it wrong. You find that you ask a learner what does UIF stand for, and he said it's United International Finance. You must use the correct one. According to mathematical literacy, according to the finance, it's not even mathematical literacy. This is used globally. So U stands for unemployment, I stands for insurance and fund. Don't just know what does it stand for. Where do we use in real life? Because it will make sense. You won't forget if you know what is UIF in real sense. You must know that this is the contribution that is made by the what? By both the employer and the employee. So that when he loses job or at the end of the job, what you call work period, he can have a money that he can still sustain that particular person. Here they are trying to explain and say, it's a government-run insurance fund which employers and employees contribute so that we can, when employees are retrenched, they can collect some earnings. You see? Now I'm reading this one, but I've given you the one that I've the way I understood it with my own word. So we don't have to stick to the one that is exactly on paper, but you must have the basic understanding of what is UIF, and you can put it in your words. And we don't need a lot of terminology. Don't come with bombastic words. We just need basic explanation. Pay as you earn. You see, in grade 12, when you are dealing with tax or with income tax, remember grade 12 is income tax. Grade 11, we focus more only on UIF, and grade 10 is VAT. But when you are doing grade 12 like you are doing now, you must be able to know how do we calculate UIF, how do we calculate VAT, and also income tax. The other name for the income tax, it is this one, my boys and girls. Pay as you earn. This is what your teacher is paying after getting the money, even before it comes to him. SARS already has taken a certain portion according to the level of income. So we're saying your teacher is paying as he continues to do what? To earn. The same with your parent. So you are going to pay tax, like it or not, when you start working, unfortunately. And it is hitting a lot. And you must know you are doing grade 12. Why the government is deducting tax? Huh? Where are they taking the money to? Are they going to take the money to give it to Tate Ramaphosa? No. You must know that to run the country, we need revenue. That's why the institute that collects the money from people, it is called SARS. SARS is another acronym. Now you must know what does it stands for if you are doing mathematical literacy. It stands for what? Just right in front of you. South African, S for South, A for African, R for revenue, and the last S is for service. This is the institution that takes the money from the people as they earn. And where are they going to use it? Where are they using it? The government. Yes, I can hear that you are talking there.
In the country.
Come again?
To fix certain things in the country.
Which are the certain things? Just mention one.
The country's infrastructure, paying hospitals and all that thing.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. To run institutions like hospitals so that people can get what? Medicine.
Medicine, yes.
Yes. What is the other one? To fix the what?
The infrastructure of the country.
The roads, yes. And what else? What about the money that our elderly people are getting?
Yes, the grants, to pay the grants.
The grants. I wanted that. You see that? So there are lots of things. That's why people will be saying, no, don't worry, this is our tax money. Because they know that at the end of the month, they are being deducted the money so that it can fund these people. And if you go to, if you check, compare South Africa with other African countries, South Africa is one of the countries that is very generous in terms of taking care of people who are elderly and the children of the parents who are not working. You know, they get those grant and what you call it, the social grant. So, and you compare us with other countries, you'll find that other countries, they are struggling a lot. And when coming to the age also, when we come to the elderly people, in South Africa, once you turn 60 years, you start to qualify for the what? For the grant. But in other countries, like Lesotho, they can only get their money when they're about 70 years. And our elderly here are getting close to 2,000 something. But in Lesotho, they are just getting, I think, 1,300. So you can see that how important is paying tax in South Africa. But you must know all those things. Hence, I don't want learners who are taking mathematical literacy just for the sake of passing. No. You'll pass with flying colors if you do mathematical literacy in context, in relation to what you come across in everyday life. You'll never get it wrong. Because the things I said earlier to do, mathematical literacy is all about us. All of us, we must do mathematical literacy because it's a subject that is important. So I don't see a person who can fail. You get into the class, here is a question of VAT, but you have just gone to the shop and you bought some items, they charge you VAT. but you can't be able to calculate it. It is there in the slip that you also had from the shop. Now we have what you call the GEPF, Government Employee Pension Fund. All people who are working for the government, like Mtate Chawala, like your teacher, like the police, the nurses, all of them, they contribute their money to this institution that is called GEPF. Why? They are taking care of my money so that when I retire, like myself, I'm not far from 60. So I'll be enjoying my money that I have been saving, giving to GEPF to save for me for 35 years as the teacher. You understand? So you must know that there is that institution. It is the one that have our money. And they will say to you, Mr. Chawala, after 60 years, here is your 2 million, but you have saved 4 million. But because we love you so much, we know that you might finish the whole 4 million. Let us keep this 2 million for you so that we keep on giving you on monthly basis. But you are sitting at home. You are no longer working, but you are getting paid like a person who's what you call working. So that's what GEPF is doing. A defined benefit fund that manages pensions and related benefits on behalf of government employee in South Africa. You see, it will appear as if Mr. Chawala is wasting time on this, but once you understand the terminology in practicality form, you'll be able to remember them in the examination. Or what's it? I'm having a student here, and he's enjoying the lesson. All right. Now, let's just take the smaller activity under the issue of the salaries and of the salary slip. But number one, can you see we have already touched on that? It looks simple, but some of us, we are still getting tricked by such questions. Explain the difference between gross salary and net salary. I made an example with myself. If I'm earning 40,000, before deduction, that is my gross salary. After deducting, remember we deducted 1,000 for the policies. We deducted how much for the house? Huh? How much? Are you following? 10,000 say yes, thank you very much. It's like it's you only was concentrating. And the car, we're paying 5,000. And we said all in all, the deductions were adding up to how much? To 16,000. And I said, you take your basic or your gross, which is 40,000, you subtract 16,000 of the deductions. What have I done? Oh, I think I've gone back. All right, thank you very much. Yeah. All right. Technology. Where are we now? It's like we have lost our slide now. Oh, there we are. We got, thank you very much, Victor. Now it is 16,000. Let me write here because it's like I'm touching that. Then I must go back. Yes, if you subtract that, remember you are left with 24,000. That 24,000 that is left after the deductions. This were the deductions, 16,000. Sorry for that. And that will be your net salary. Gross salary, the money you receive before deduction, and net salary, the amount you get after deductions. Then you get your 2 marks. Very basics. We don't expect you to lose marks on such questions. Exactly. You ask your mom, Mommy, how much is your gross? I know that she's not gonna tell you. Hey, why we Sabi Maliami? That's my money. No, we don't do that. You must ask so that you can see. They say, but Mommy, your deductions are so many. Huh? Look, you are earning 5,000, Mama. But when we check all your deductions, they add up to 4,000. You are left with 1,000, and we haven't bought the grocery yet. This is too much. No, you must make plan. We have to cancel one of the policies. Ubani law, who is this one that you are covering with 500? No, this person is not related to you. We can save that 500 so that we can add it here. So you understand what I'm talking about, the grade 12s. So it is very important that whenever you deal with this, you deal in practical, because we come across on daily basis. Now, look at the second question. It says, calculate Susan's monthly gross salary if her annual gross salary is 81,000. Now, you won't be able to answer this question if you are not good with your terminology. So unfortunately, in mathematical literacy, we deal a lot with language. English is there. That's why in the classroom, you must talk a lot. We don't focus more on calculations. We need to understand what are we going to calculate before we can write. So hence, it is very important to read with understanding. Look, it says Susan's monthly gross salary here, monthly. I underline it. The teacher is underlining, my boys and girls, the word monthly, because it plays a very key role in my calculation. And I go to this one. What is this one that I'm underlining? Annual. What is the significance or the importance of highlighting the two? It's because it's where my calculation is going to lie. So I am very important that you focus on that. Now, this person or Susan, what is annual? Annual. What is annual?
Annual is yearly.
It's per year, all right.
Yes.
Meaning that from January up to December, Susan is earning how much? Yes. Is someone talking? Hello? All right. Okay. I thought someone wanted to ask something.
He is.
And if there are teachers there, please help the learners to mute their mics if they are not talking, so that you can. Victor says, is anyone talking? Or do you think someone has just opened the mic? All right. Please close your microphone. Now, unfortunately, we can't mute them. All right, I'm continuing. I'll try to shout so that we overpower these voices. I don't know who are they. Now, this is what he's getting per year. We need to calculate how much is he getting on monthly basis. When we say per year, it means that he's getting this 81,000 for how many months? 12. So we need to know in January, how much is he getting? In February, just like that. So you know that you just need to divide 81 by 12 and get the answer. How much? 3,750. This is what Susan is getting per month. Unfortunately, we can't see this person who's talking. I don't know whether Victor can be able to see so that we can mute. We are going back. We need to check. But now it's like they are quiet. Nobody still there. Right. All right. Remember, we can't be disturbed by one person, and we have so many people here. Right. I think they have muted now. Let's check. Right. This is the only connection that we have, ne? Okay.
2, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15.
Yes. What they say? One of three. We don't. Yeah, we've got others here. Okay. Okay. This one. Is he muted? Not muted. This one. Let's mute this person.
Oh, supposed to unmute it.
Yeah.
But now it's late.
Okay. Yeah, it's muted. It's muted.
That's not.
That was the last one. Right. Oh, slideshow.
Teams.
Okay. I think you can just go. Let's go straight because you are still sharing.
Yeah, yes, still sharing.
Let's just go to it. Okay.
So,
Right. Can you see our PowerPoint, our presentation where we're still writing? Anyone can just unmute and say yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Remember 1.2, we wanted to check how much Susan was earning on monthly basis. Susan was earning 81,000 divided by 12. Why? Mr. Chawala said, because this is 81,000, it is for annual. So words like annual, you must know them. It's when the moment you see annual, it also appear where? When we are dealing with text. Very important. Monthly. What is the other one? Quarterly. What is the other one? Quarterly. You need to remember. Those are the. Okay, I think I need to fetch my. Victor, can you fetch the pen for me?
so
Right.
the blue one.
Yeah, the blue one. Thank you. Now, quarterly. Okay. What is the other one? Half yearly. Half of a year. That's why we say half yearly. Yeah? So those are the things that you need to know. Quarterly, 4 months. How many quarters do we have in a year? We have 4 quarters. So that is how will you get the answer for 2 marks again. This person is earning 6,750 per month. Number 3, let's just run. The employee UIF contribution is calculated at 1% of the monthly salary. I think we should have also touched on this one. Remember, we spoke about the UIF. When we talk about the UIF, boys and girls, is that this is the money that is going to be saved for an employee so that when he loses job or retires, he can enjoy what he has saved. But it's not him alone or her alone who's saving the money, the government. So they are sharing the contribution. The employee contributes 1% to the UIF fund, and the employer, the person who hired him or her, also contribute the 1%. So meaning that what is the total contribution of UIF? It's going to be 1 plus 1%, which is going to give you 2%. Now, if someone can ask you, what is the total contribution of UIF in South Africa? You say 2%. But that 2%, it is shared amongst the employee and the employer. Does it make sense? I can see you are nodding your head. Very good, very good. Now, this question was saying the employee UIF contribution is calculated at 1% of the gross monthly salary. Calculate the amount that will be deducted from monthly salary for UIF. Remember, this 1% is the 1% of the what? Of the gross salary. Okay. Now, if this person, which is Susan, they are talking about a Susan here is our employee. Remember, we said we have already calculated that she is earning 6,750 per month. Now they want to know how much will he she contribute to the what? To the UIF. You need to calculate the 1% of this salary. So you can just say, Victor, you can say 6,750 multiplied by 1/100. How much do you get there? It's gonna be a smaller amount. It is 67 Rand 50, something like that. Yeah, let's just check it to be sure. Yeah. 50. So that is the amount that 67 Rand 50. This will be coming from the salary of Susan. Remember, I said the employee also, the employer must also contribute another 1%, meaning that there will also be 67 Rand 50 coming from the employer. What will be the total contribution of Susan towards UIF? It will be 67 Rand 50 times 2, which is going to be 135, because if you multiply by this, if my calculations are right, it's going to be 135 per month. But the question was just wanted you to calculate the 1%, which is 6750. I hope we are still following. Now we continue. If we are still together. Now let's get to this one. I like this one. Because now, when coming to finances, everything is money, 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 money. And you check also, even our country, at times they don't have money, they have to borrow from the World Bank. It's bad. In our homes, our parents, hey, that is all about the loans. I made an example. The cars that we are driving, few of us are not owing them. Majority, we borrowed money so that we can buy the cars. So it's all about what? Loans. Loans. The house, big house, a person is taking a big house. Until that person finishes the money, it doesn't belong to him. The house, paying the house, doesn't belong to him or her. It is still belong to the bank, because the bank is the one that gave him or her the money through a loan. You see, Meslit, we need to understand all these things because they involve us on a daily basis. If I'm here, and here is the bank. Here is the person who's borrowing the money. The bank will give the money to this person. Now, in financial terms, we say the person who's borrowing the money is the what? Is the borrower. Is the what? The borrower. And the bank that is giving the money to the person is the what? It's a lender. Those who are here and can be able to meet the person who have unmuted, just press next to the mute button of that particular person who unmuted. He or she will go silent because he or she is disturbing us or that crew. Now, the person who's borrowing the money, it is called the borrower, and the bank, it is called the lender. Or it can be vice versa. It can be two people borrowing each other money. The one who is borrowing is the borrower. The one who's giving the money is the lender. And what is a loan? A loan, I've explained it. But let's just check now on paper what is written. A loan is money borrowed with an expectation that it will be paid back with interest. Very important. This is the key of how banks are also getting money, benefiting from borrowing the people money. Is because if they have borrowed you 100 rand, they said, you don't have a problem. We can give you this 100 rand. As long as when you return it, maybe after a year, it is no longer 100 rand, it is 110. What did they added? They added on top of 100 rand, they added 10 rand. Therefore, you are going to return the money as 110. And that 10 rand that they have added, it's an interest. It's an interest. But now, in the terms of finance or of mathematical literacy, we can ask, we say the interest is 10 rand. How did they arrive to this 10 rand? How much was their interest rate? You see, you must be able to differentiate between the two, the interest and the interest rate. We said, oh no. For them to say you must add 10 rand, meaning that their interest rate was 10%. You understand? What is 10% of 100 is 10 rand. That's why you'll have to bring it back as 110. But this is in a simple interest. We call this just a simple interest. You understand that? Now, when the amount of money that is borrowed goes up, bank will also get more interest. Obvious. If now you are borrowing 300, the interest can remain 10 rand. Now you calculate 10% of 300 is 30 rand. Now you return the money as 330. So these are just a simple, we are not going to deep. We want to understand what are these words, interest rates, the loans, the lender, what does they mean? But I was giving you an example there. Right, we come to the lender. I've already spoken about it. It can be an individual, a group or financial institution that makes that funds available for person, people, or business with the expectation that their funds will be repaid. Now that we are doing grade 12, and Mr. Chawala made an example with big institution like a country, South Africa. I said, at times, as South Africa, they need money. They've got debts. And they become now the what? The borrower. And where are they borrowing the money? I said from the World Bank. And World Bank becomes a what now? The what? Your lender. You understand? So remember, you are doing grade 12. We talk about we need to talk about big institutions. You don't just talk about the household. Simple. You see the example that I made here of 100 Rand plus 10 Rand, that is for grade 10. You have to deal with big figures because here they can say South Africa have borrowed 1 billion. If it's like this, it's what? It's a million. That is what will be billion? Let's add another 3. You are doing grade 12. If we say they have borrowed South Africa with an interest of 6%, how much will they bring the money to be, or how much will be the money when they come back, when they bring it back to World Bank? So you must be able to calculate 6% of 1 billion because you are doing grade 12. So in grade 12, you must be prepared to work with large digits. That's why you won't find a table that has only 1 column or whatever, or rows. They will ask you in a question paper. Find that this country, South Africa here, it's Zambia here, it's USA, whatever, and you have a lot of figures, and it can be written here that all the monies are in millions. And they will write here 35, 7, 8. But you know that because they have said it's in million. If it is 35 here, it's 35 million. If it's 7 here, 7 million, it's 8 million. So in grade 12, you must expect those large digits. And when you are practicing, go to those questions that are having large digits so that you can be ready for your examination. The monthly repayments is the monthly installment of the money borrowed by the principal and borrowed and the interest. So you know what is all about monthly. I don't want to waste time on that one. But let me just, before I go out of this slide, to say to you, you see the money that you borrowed, we can call it the principal or the initial amount. Just giving you that weight. We don't need it as such, but we don't know how will examiner can ask this, or can say what is the principal amount. Explain the word principal amount. This is the initial money that you are borrowing, but the ones that will be having interest, it will be the final amount. When we are bringing it back to the World Bank, we call that the final amount. Okay. The principal, final. Then between we've got the interest, we've got the period. How long are you going to borrow the money? Okay. Good. One of the financial documents, which is the statement from Happy House, house home loan. This person used this company to buy him or her the house on their on his behalf. Often when you buy the house and you are married in community of property, at times you decide that no, we are going to take what you call a joint bond, where the statement or the house will be under you as couple. So in this case, it was Mr. and Mrs. April. They have borrowed the money from Happy House Home Loan to borrow the money. Hence, we are calling them a what? This is our borrower or our borrowers, this couple. And they are staying at this address in Cape Town. Happy House Home Loans have allocated the account number to this particular couple, which is 438291. And the statement that we see, it is a loan statement of 30 April 2014. And this is the account summary. It's all about the address. Now let's get to the figures. This is the registered bond amount. What does it mean? This is the money or what cost the house. The house cost 950,000, meaning that it is the what? If you remember the previous slide. Yes, this is the principal amount, which is the value of the house or the principal amount that Mr. and Mrs. April is borrowing. They are borrowing from what? Happy House Home Loans. Please, we are here. Really, we need a house, but we can afford. Here are our salary advisors. We'll be able to pay you, but we don't have this 950,000. Can you please, Happy House, can you please give us the 950,000 so that we can give it to the owner or to the bank so that we can just pay you on monthly basis. Then the Happy House Home Loans will check their credibility of their salary advisors, whether they will be able to pay the what you call the monthly installment. They said, no problem. We'll buy for you a house. Then your principal amount, it is 950,000, Mr. and Mrs. April. Do you understand? Yes, we understand. Then the transaction goes on. Now they are paying 950 towards their house. Now they have to return it by paying on monthly basis. So by the time of this statement, the couple have already paid a certain amount of money of their home loan. It was 950, but the balance is how much? 800,000. How much they have already paid? They have already paid 150,000, because you can just subtract. House loans are typically for 20 years. Now, they have already, on the agreement was that they will pay this house in 20 years. They will be done. But we can take 20 years and take it to the months because they're going to pay per month. We want to check as to how many months are in 20 years. That's why we came up with 240 months. How did we get it, Mr. Chabalala? We said 20 multiply by how much? 12. Because a year has 12 months. Then you will get your 240 months. Right. So that's where this 240 comes from. But remember, by the time of the statement, they have already paid 150,000. And when we check here, it says interest is compound. Okay, it says remaining loan term. This one is the registered loan term, 240 months. Remaining loan terms is 200 months. What is the difference between 240 and 200? Is 240 minus 200 is equals to 40 months. Yeah. Mr. and Mrs. April have just paid 40 months. 40 months. No, they are getting, and they are very honest. Happy House Home Loans is very excited and happy and say, every month this couple is paying as we have agreed, have a contract with them. So meaning that they are doing well. And initially they were told that we are going to give you the money, but we can't say to you, we can't give you 950 and you bring it back as still as 950. No, 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 no. Because we are also in business here. We want 950,000 with an interest rate of 8.5%. But this 8.5%, you'll pay it, will divide it into a yearly. So meaning that every year they will add 8.5 into their what you call to their installment or their debt. Now the basic repayment is 8,889.73 cents. Remember, this couple, they didn't have 950,000. So they relied to Happy House Home Loans, and they agreed that they are going to pay only on monthly basis because they could not pay 950. So what Happy House did is to take 240 divided from 950, and it gave them also the interest, and they had the interest, and they calculated that now you'll have to pay us 8,000 rand, 8,089 rand and 73 cents per month. This is what they are paying. So meaning that to stand at 800, they have already paid 8,893 times 40 because they have already paid 40 months. That's why now they are standing at 800. So it's a rule according to the finances or what you call the regulatory body of the loans, that there must be a certain fee of 57 rand for admin. Then total monthly payment is this. They are just adding it to this amount. That's why it's 8,146.73 cents. So actually, this is the correct monthly installment. So remember, boys and girls, we are just not doing this on a Saturday on the 16th, just for fun. No, questions like this can come, can be given in a statement. You must be able to do what? To analyze it. At times, you'll be given, instead of months here, it will be unknown. And given as A. But they said 20 years. And the question say, calculate in months how many months will Mr. and Miss April, what you call, take before they can finish the installment. So you have to take that 20 multiplied by 12 and give it as an answer. So we don't know actually how can an examiner ask this financial document. At times they can delete this one and make it also an unknown B, and tell you that this person has already paid what you call 800 or has paid 150,000. What was the initial installment? So you need to add the two and go back and calculate back. But what is important is to analyze or read with, I'm writing it here, with understanding before you can answer the question. When you get to the examination room, you can rush. This is the context that is given to you. It's an information there at the top. The questions are below, and the question will say, use the above information to answer the questions that follow. Enormous. And it says 1.1, 1.2, calculate. What is important, what comes here is this. You need to analyze the information, understanding it, make sense of it before you can go and calculate. You can't just get, when you get to the question paper, hey, I'm rushing, I'm going to 1.1, hey, I'm going to answer 1.1, I'm going to answer. What are you answering without understanding what is given to you? Make sense of the given scenario. This is the scenario that we are given. You look at it, Oh, this is a financial document. What kind of a financial document? It's a loan one. It's all about the house loan. Oh, so let me just analyze. Then after analyzing and understanding, there is an address, there is what couple, then you can go to the questions, which is the next day. Okay, now here is another example. But this one is a what now? It's an account statement. Remember, it is still a loan. Still a loan. Yeah. Yeah, that's Victor. You see a person wearing nicely there, smart jean, skinny jean, and whatever. But this person went to markups and buy it. He's paying monthly. So they have loaned you the money so that they can give you the clothes. But this one, he went to this Kwani Clothing. Kwani Clothing is giving the clothes you are paying per month. And this is a what? We call it a what? An account statement. Right. The previous one, it was all about a house or a bond repayment statement or a house loan repayment statement. But this one is an account statement. It can be a clothing one or can be finisher. Also, they can, but they will state it. You must be able to know it. It looks more or less the same with that one. It is just a norm that the statement at the top, it must have the owner of the account, the name, the date of the statement, even the closing. Look here, it is also given you the number of statement, mean that this person has already received 22 statement. This one is the 23rd. Yeah, he's paying a lot every month. What is going on now? Yeah. Now it shows you also the dates. But what is important is to understand the headings. Can't just pay without even, if you don't understand, you'll pay at times, they will just cheat you. If you don't know what is a credit, what is the balance, what is the charge, what is the description, all those things, you need to know them. So for mathematical literacy, especially under account statement, you need to know what is key. Most of you, you don't know the difference between a debit and a what? And a credit. Balance, BF at times. What does B stroke F stands for? Huh? Balance forward. That is the balance that is carried to the next month. Closing balance, opening amount. Those are the things that you must know. And the moment you seek debit, most of the time, it's what you owe. Credit, it's what you have paid. It's positive. This one is minus, this one is plus. So it depends how that particular store or a shop put their statements. In this case, they decided to have a column for the credit. And here, this is 700. They said this is the credit refers to the payments made by the client. It's plus you have paid something into your account. So when these are the debit, this is what you are owing. You know, this is what you are owing. You bought on a certain day, 300 for 328.25, 100 rand 20 cent, women's clothing, women's shoes 220. So they just take your credit higher. So, and here this is the balance. Yes, you are owing this amount, but look, let's analyze the statement. Meaning that this person came with this amount from which month? From the previous month. What is the previous month? It's June, because this one is July. He was owing 1,243.50 cents. On top of that, he bought 328.25. We added to the opening balance. It went to 1.57175. On top of that, he bought again for 101.20 cents. It went to 1,672. But he said no. On the 29th of June, ngimnandi, ngithole imali. Let me pay 700. What are they doing? Manje, they deduct it from 1,672, and now it's left with 972. But again, hey, the umama wathi, hayi mina nginesihlakula, hey, hi, my shoes, okay, let me go and buy other shoes. 220, kwaka. Goes back now in 972, must add it to 972.95, that 220 takes back to 1,192.95, what you call the closing balance. Just analyze it. But what is important is to know which is which. I've already spoken about it, that credit refers to payments made by the client, and it gives you plus because they will subtract it. It means that something positive. It will take down your credit down. And the closing balance is the last amount before the end of the statement. So, and down here, okay, it's a repetition. This is what is owing. Okay, the account number is there. We've already spoken about the number of statement. This is just a calculation. How did they come up to this 1,192? The bank details can also be there in case you want to deposit. Right, another financial document. If you look at this one, see this one from the Chinese shop, eh? Ching. It's a king cube. But we know that they specialize with technology. We can call this a what? This is a what? It's an invoice. It's even written here. Invoice. When you are buying, they give you. They go back. This is what you have paid for. It's an invoice. You must know that. Look again. There is a description here. Here, what is important about the invoice and the till slips? It will give you what? The unit, price, things like what? Quantity. How many items have you bought? So the abbreviation will be QTY. The moment you see QTI, remember it's quantity. What does quantity mean? Number of items. Number of items. How much does one item cost? How much one item cost? Okay, very important. Right from there, this is we can do ID, whatever. But it is very important that you must know that when you deal with invoice, VAT plays a very important part there. And we have the amount before VAT. We have the amount after VAT. Meaning that for you to go to after VAT, you must add 15% to what? To the amount before VAT. Don't forget that. And it's very important again to remember that these two can be named or called differently. We had what you call a VAT exclusive amount. VAT exclusive amount. And which is the what? Amount before VAT. And we have VAT inclusive amount. Is it difficult, my creators? No, Mr. Chawla, not at all. The word or the naming of the two, they just explain itself. Exclusive, exclusive, out. Take it out. It's out. It's out without a VAT. Include, you put it in. Meaning that the moment you see inclusive amount, you know that, oh, this is the amount after that. And can you expect the exclusive amount to be more than the inclusive amount? Common sense is very important. Huh? Mr. Shabalala bought the Gucci sunglasses for 2,500. And he paid, all right, let's say, Mr. Chabalala bought Gucci sunglasses for 2,500 without VAT, or he's buying without VAT. How much will he pay after VAT? What I'm trying to say, I know we know how to calculate VAT, but I'm trying to remind you that it is important that you realize that this is 2,500. It is before VAT. It's VAT exclusive. When I'm doing my calculations, I'm going to add 15% on top of this. I'm not expecting to get an answer of 2,300 or 2,100. Why? Because the VAT inclusive amount must always be more than the VAT exclusive. So you can see what I like about Mathlit is that you can mark yourself. You press the calculator, you check, yeah. How can I get 2.1? No, it can't be. It can't be. So it means that I have not pressed my calculator. You can mark yourself. Don't go out of the exam room without checking yourself whether you have done the correct things or what. So this, after VAT, it will be 2,000. Let me write it here. It will be 2,875. And 2,875 is more than 2.5. Yes, because now this is a VAT inclusive amount. So the vice versa, what you know is to add VAT. They are very good in that. But if I can give you this one and say, go back, this is the amount that he paid, VAT included. How much was the amount before VAT? That's where you struggle. And boys and girls, let's go straight forward. Let us not, it's 2,500. If you add VAT, just multiply by 1,15. It will give you 2,875. It will give you 2,875. What have I done? Oh, thank you. 2,875. Oh, I see what I'm doing now. Yeah. I've written where I'm not supposed to write. Sorry, 2,875. If I'm given 2,875, I'm going back. I just divide by 1.15. It will give me the 2,500. All right. But I know that your teachers have already taught you. But Victor, we've got a rubber here. Eh? Yes, we have it. This is technology. Yeah, we've got the rubber. We can delete. Because we want to especially work on our, right. So we are trying to analyze what in this case? Yeah. We are trying to analyze our invoice. We can continue and see whether we can come across the questions or whatever. Look, now these are the questions that are attached to the previous invoice of the chin. Look at the questions that are attached to it now. It says, what is the invoice number and the date? I think it's 2 marks. Oh man, level 1 questions. You see, at times you just lose the marks, 3 marks. We call this are the low-hanging fruits. You just grab them. Benches. I don't know in Xhosa what you call it. Benches. Yeah, in Sotho we call them diperekisi. These are the ones that you can just quickly grab. Those marks for mahala. You don't have to struggle. You don't even calculate. You just go and check in your statement and check what is the invoice number. Oh, there is it. You write it down. But don't make a mistake of writing something else different. Copy that nicely and say V is I and V what, Mr. Victor?
0
0 1 0
0
0 0
4
plus 5. And what is the date? 19 October. This is the date, 19 October 2019. I must talk about the date. The moment it says date, you give everything that you see. A date must be complete. You must have a day, a month, and a year. Don't just write, get it 19 October. I said, no, I'm tired. I won't write in 2019. No, you haven't answered the question. You're going to lose the marks. But at times they can say, on which month was the statement? You can just write what? October. Because the questions say which month. So you must read the questions properly. Don't answer what you want. You feel like, now this one, I want to answer it like this. No, it doesn't go like this, like that. It doesn't go like that. I'm going to the pen, Right. Now I know technology. How many AMD Aflon did John order? Now we go to the details of, in this case, this invoice has a description column. It has an ID number. It can be just a number attached to that particular item. Remember, I spoke about the unit price, the quantity, and the amount per item. Sorry for that. Now, in this case, they say, what is the unit price of PDC ES300? Meaning that there is an item with this name. And if you go to your items or the descriptions of your item, you can see here is PDC E5300. What are they looking for, Mr. Chabalala? They want the unit price. What did I say about the unit price? How much does one item cost of that item, of that name? So we go there. Is it given? No, it's not given, Mr. Chabalala. Yes, it's not given because they want you to calculate it. But how will I calculate it, Mr. Chabalala? No, you use what is given already. There is something that is given to you that will help you to do what? To get how much does PDC E5300 cost. You are given the quantity. Quantity meaning that there are 4 of them that have been bought. And you are given the total. It cost the total, 4 of them, they cost how much? 6,580 rand. How much will one cost? Yes, you are right. Tipo, good boy. Suppose says, no, Mr. Chavala, it's very simple. Take that 6,580. Say, don't stress yourself. Divide it by 4. It will tell you how much. How much are we getting there? Now, press your calculator also. You're waking here. It's like you're sleeping there. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. Press your calculator. 1,645. You are right. Remember, this is the money. The unit is very important. 1,645. It means that PDCE 300, this DVD, whatever, it cost 1,645. Meaning that at this space, what was missing was 1,645. Because for them to get the total amount, they take the unit price, they multiply it by the quantity, and they get that. Are we right, Victor?
Yes, sir.
Show my product. Now, the next question. This can be a level 2 question because you have to divide and all the stuff. Remember when I started, I said we've got different types of level. You can find that it's not even 2 marks, it can be 3 marks because we have more working. It's still simple. You need to understand what is needed. Determine the total cost of the HP LaserJet. It's a printer, this. So this person also bought a printer by the name of HP. Here is it. LaserJet 5200. 5200 is a code. How much did it cost? 7,100. A1. But he didn't buy one. How many did he buy? 9 of them. So we want to know for 9 printers, of which one costs 7,100. For 9, how much will he pay? So this is what is going to come here. And you know that this is going to be what you call your answer, because you will have done what? What are we going to do? Yes, Nosipo. You are right. 9 multiplied by 7,100. Simple as that. You take 7,100. So 7,100 multiplied by 9. Let's check how much does it give you. 60?
3,900.
Oh, this person is selling. Maybe selling, he's got a business, yeah?
63,900.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Vic. 63,900.
900.
Okay, thank you very much. You find that this person, he's getting these printers from the supplier. He's going to do what? To sell them. Do you think he will sell it for 7,100? No, maybe he's going to sell it 10,000 each. He's still going to get more. It's business. I know some of you like money. You said, when I finish my trick, I'm going to sell the printers. Yeah, I can see now. It's AI. Yeah, it's translating what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is technology. Now, do you understand how did we get this amount that is going to come here, which is 63,900? We have taken the quantity, which is 9, we multiplied it by the unit price. Okay, number 6. Determine the cost of shipping if it is calculated using the following. Now, in this case, what is you need also to understand what is shipping. Some of you are buying, are ordering online. Say, Mama, can you just give me 200? I saw a jean from Shein, and then, but don't just give me 200. Give me plus 50 rand because I have to pay for shipping. Because this company, it's outside South Africa. Now, for you to get that jean that costs 200, you need to put maybe 50 rand of what? Of shipping. Shipping, most of the time, they put it in the ship. So it goes overseas. That's why we call it overseas. So in this case, this person, you need to also to pay the shipping cost. But the shipping cost has a formula as to how do you calculate it. It goes with the total amount of your items. You understand? So if you have bought things for 20 rand, for them to calculate your shipping cost, they are going to calculate 5.5% of that 20 rand and always at 1,520. At times we see these things very cheap, but when you are about to finish ordering, there comes another 1,520. Just imagine that you add on top of what you have bought. So it can only work if you are buying things that are many, because you won't complain a lot. But just imagine if this person was buying only that the AMD whatever that cost 3,480. On top of that, he must still pay 5.5% of that amount plus 1,520, which is constant. This one we say it is fixed. Yeah, I want that word. It's fixed. Whatever you have calculated here, after calculating, you always at 1,520. Yeah, this is expensive. Okay, now, do we have subtotal here? We don't have the subtotal because for us to calculate the shipping amount, we need to get the subtotal. So this question can be level 3 question because it has multi-steps. What? Multi-steps. So we don't expect you to get 2 marks here. Talking about 4 to 5 marks because it has steps. You see what you need to first get? You must first get the subtotal so that you can come and substitute it here. Then you calculate the percentage of that subtotal. Then you add 1,520 before getting the answer. You see, it's a multi-step answer. So remember, to get the subtotal, you need to add all the items, the amounts of all 3 items. So you are going to take 3,480 plus 6,580 plus, or there are 4 items there, what you call 12,300 plus the one that we have recently calculated, which is 63,900 of the 9 printers. Then you can get your subtotal. So that is max. So basically, you are going to say 3,480 plus 6,580 plus 12,300 plus how much? 63,900. Then you add everything. Then it will give you what? Your subtotal. Let's quickly do it. So we are going to say 34,80, 3,480. Mr. Charles, what are you doing? 3,480 plus 6,580. Yes. Plus 12,300. Come on. And the last one is 63,900. If Mr. Chawla has added everything nicely here, the total amount is how much? How much? Yes, 86,260 rand. This is the subtotal. So we are going to substitute here 86,260. That Victor, you said this, they are seeing what I'm writing. They can see. So this is nice. It's nice. 86,260 is my subtotal. Am I done? No, Mr. Chawale, I'm not done. Remember, here you must be careful. We need to use what we learned from primary. A what? Bottomless rule. You can't take this money and add it already here. Remember bottomless, a bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtractions. So here, first of all, you need to get the percent, 5% of 86,260, 5.5% of it. So we are going to say, where is 0, 0, 5, 5. Yeah, if I've calculated correctly, the 5.5% of 86,260, we are getting how much? That every time you did it also 4,700.
827.
827. 90. You didn't forget to put another 5. Oh, why it's like I get a different thing?
5.5.
Okay. Now let's say minus 5. Okay. Yes. 5.5%. Right. 86,260. You know how much did I get? I got this 474430. Now, this amount, we can now add it to 1,520 to get our total amount of shipping. I have got one student who's arriving now. Yeah, he's late for the class. But I know he's very good in math. 30 plus 1,520. Sure. The total amount will be 6,264.30 cents. Only for shipping. You see, we can see these prices of things that we are buying online are cheap, but they know where they're going to catch you. Where, Mr. Chabalala? They will catch you with shipping. Look. Remember now, this person is going to sell this stuff like we anticipated or we expected it. So he spent that 86,260. Now on top of that, he must pay how much? That for that 6,264 is a lot. But they're still making business because his or her selling price is going to, he or she's going to ensure that this money comes back. Is going to sell to some of the people who doesn't know, who cannot order for themselves abroad. All right, but remember, what is the importance of this session? It's all about analyzing your financial documents, knowing what is in the financial document, and how do I interpret it in such a way that I can be able to answer the questions. So, Dr. Victor, I can see that there are others are starting to sleep a little bit. We are going towards the end now. Right. Yeah, I think this will be the last activity. Remember, I told you that you can drive a car, you can stay in a house, as long as you are still owing it. We have taken that with a what? A loan. It be a car, it be a house, even your clothes. Account statement. But in this case, what is all about this one? Then the name of the person is Jano. Jano wants to buy a new car, but before he signs any contract, he wants to look at various options. He's interested in buying a used Hyundai i30. It's a small car, but no. Remember, each and every person has a reason why I'm buying this one. Because I'm going to go up and down. I want to save on the petrol. Don't want a big one. Maybe he's already having a Mercedes Benz. That one is taking it out for bigger trips. He makes an appointment with a salesperson to show him the various options. Now, this one talks about a car. So it's a loan that you want to take to finance a car. So it's all about the car loan here. So that's what I wanted to show. Because remember, I've already introduced to you and tell you that a loan can be taken, can be mashonisa from someone, money to money, from person to person. It is still a loan. Now, in this case, he went to the dealer and said, I want to buy a car, but I want to check the options. 2 options. Or the salesperson say, no, sit down, sit down. I'm going to give you options. We, as the dealer shop of the cars, we can give you option 1 and give you option 2, and you can choose which one you want to go with. But what we know that is that you want the car. So when you go out of the store, you'll be having a car. Now, option 1, let's analyze it. The car cost 249,995, meaning that if you buy it cash, you'll just give them 249,995 uhambe. You have your car, they have their money. Even with option 2, still the same price. Right. Now let's focus on the option 1 first. For option 1, if you are paying a deposit of 20,000, then the loan amount will be 231,135. I think you can see where does it come from. Because you will have paid 20,000, but you'll come back to that. The interest rate, remember we spoke about that a person cannot give you 1,000 rand and you take it for the whole month for 5 years, then you bring it as 1,000 rand. Now it can't be. They're gonna give you 249,995 to pay for that car. The bank is gonna charge you 10.25% on top of what you have, loaned. So how long will it take? Normally, a car takes 6 years. Yes, remember, the question can say, how many months will Yano take to pay the car if he's given a term of 6 years? Yes, you are right. Dokozo. It's going to be 6 multiplied by 12, and it will give you about 72 months. Meaning that he's going to pay this car for 72 months. Monthly repayment is going to be 4,290. You need to know how did they come in calculating that 4,290. That is our option 1. Then we go to the second option. The second option, it is written balloon payment. This one was written linked rate. We'll see why. Balloon payment, the second one. Let's check what is happening in the second one. On the balloon payment, which is option 2, right? The cash price is still this one. There is no deposit. You see the difference now. That one was 20,000 there. Here, nothing you are paying as a deposit. And the loan amount is 231,135 for the option 1, but here is 251. You start to ask yourself, why? I can hear someone say, no, Jonga, man. This one, option one, it's battery 20,000 there, but they are not going to pay anything. So we expect this money to be higher because there they have subtracted. Oh, I see. I see. Interest rate still 10.25. The period still 6 years, which is equals to 72 months. All right. Monthly repayment. Oh, 3,905. This one in Ranigaku. Okay. But what makes it to be little? We will see. Balloon payment 0. Here, 30% of cash price. All right. Now, let's analyze quickly this. I said this is the last activity. Then I'm going to close the session. Now, in this case, this person is going to pay 20,000. Here is not going to pay anything. And here they are coming with something called balloon payment. You must know what is a balloon payment. A balloon payment, it is the amount that we call, the other word for that, it is a final payment. The bank says to you, for this option, you will pay less on monthly basis, 3,905. But as you are on the 72th month, on that month, of which is the last one, 72 month, you are not going to pay 3,905 only. You are going to pay 3,905 rand plus 30% of the cash price. You see, where is the cash now? You need to calculate what is the 30% of 249. This is what you pay additionally, because you have been enjoying to pay less. So the balloon payment is 30% in this case. So this is what we mean by the balloon payment and the final payment. But this one is not having a balloon payment because you are paying more per month. These are the things that you need to understand, that they play a role in terms of these two options. How do they differ? Okay. Right. Now, I want the questions here. Right. Let me check. Right. I think the first question here, or did I delete my question? Okay. Show how the loan amount for option 1 was calculated. The loan amount of option 1 was calculated. Remember, let's go back. What was the loan amount? The loan amount was 231. Remember, the cash price is this one. They want to know where does this come from. It's very simple. You take the cash price, 249.95. Let me do this so that confusion. Sorry for that. Okay. You are going to take the cash price, which is 249.95. You subtract the what? The 20,000, which is the what? Of the deposit. Okay. But Mr. Chabalala, there is 1,140. Where does it come from? Look at the bottom there. At the bottom, there was something written. And when most of the time our parents, even people, when they buy, they don't read these Molanian things. We call them terms and conditions. Have you heard, even in the advertisement in the TV, they'll say, only for Hyundai i30 for 249,995 only. Then after that, they said, terms and conditions. These are the terms and conditions. There is an amount that you have to pay, which is 1,140 on top of your debt. which is compulsory. They call it a once-off payment. So we have already paid it here. We say 249,985 minus 20,000 plus that 1,140. It gives you 231.35 cents, 135 rand only. So this is how do we calculate the what you call the loan amount. We have shown the examiner where does it come from. The second one, calculate the total amount that Jano will pay after the 6 years on option 1. The 6 years on option 1. Right. Gonna go back. Right. The total amount that he will pay. So it's gonna be for 6 years. Here is the installment. The installment is 4,290. Remember, this is per month because it is written monthly. So we want to know how many months are there in 6 years. We said multiply by 12, it's going to be 72. So you are going to say 4,290 multiply by 72. How much will it give you? Let's calculate it quickly. It's going to be 72 times 4290. It's going to be, the total amount is going to be 321,750. Oh, how much was the cash price? Only 249.90. If he was having money, you can just buy what you call the car cash. But look, because it's a loan, 321,750. So you have paid an additional of close to 80,000 on top of that. So you can see how expensive it is. All right. So I'm about to finish. Explain why the monthly repayment of option 2 is lower than of option where a deposit has been paid. That the Chabalala has already alluded to the fact that when you go to option 2, we have what you call a balloon payment. This person, you'll pay a small amount on monthly basis as compared to this one, because on the last month of his period of payment, he has to pay the what you call the where am I now? We go forward. All right. Sorry for that. Now he was enjoying paying the less installment as compared to option 1, but he must pay on the last month of the payment. He must calculate 30% of the balloon payment of the cash price and give it as a lump sum. That's where the cash comes. That's why he's going to pay more. That is the reason. That's my dashboard. Okay. The last question. Which of these options will you advise Jano to choose? 2 reasons. Your answer. Bye-bye. Now, it means that Jano, in this case, he can choose which option. I would say it will depend from him. Because if he has money, he says, no, I'll pay that 4,290 because I'm prepared. And I have a deposit of 20,000. But the other person can say, I don't have that amount. I can pay only 3,905 and keep on saving so that at the end of 72 months, I can pay that balloon payment. But it depends. If for the sake of being what you call cost effective in future, you can go for option 1. So here is an opinion question. So the reasons that you will give in this case, they will be very subjective based on your understanding. I want to stop here, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, all my grade 12s. And I hope I haven't wasted your time. You have learned something. Remember what I said when I started. I said Finance is one of the biggest topics. We only did 2 or 3 parts of finance. We've got a lot of topics, subtopics under finance, the exchange rate, the inflation, the income and expenditure, and all that stuff. But today we focus more on the financial document, but we are touching on the interest rates, etc. Thank you very much for listening. See you next time, and enjoy mathematical literacy, which is a very good subject. Thank you. Bye-bye.